Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So we're looking at square roots, powers, and exponent laws. And in this video, we want to talk about order of operations. So when we're talking about order of operations, I want us to really get in our head, really think about this term over here, bed mass. Okay, and it's also in the image that I've included because anytime we have any operations, and when I say operations, that means like addition, subtraction, division, exponents, multiplication, brackets, any type of mathematical operations that are happening, we follow BEDMAS. So if I tell you, for instance, like 2 times 5 divided by -3 plus 4 to the power of 2, right? These are operations, right? And I'm asking you, what is this equal to, right? Like I'm saying simplify, for instance, right? Then what you're thinking of is, oh, well, I need to simplify, but how do I simplify? Our first our first approach is typically like in our brains, we typically go, oh, let's go left to right, let's simplify in that way. But no, we have to follow BEDMAS. We have to do brackets, exponents, division and or multiplication, addition and or subtraction, okay? The ones that do go left to right is division and multiplication. When I'm on the step of doing division multiplication, I go left to right. When I'm on the step of doing addition and subtraction, I go left to right. But in general, I want to follow the rule of doing brackets, exponents, division and or multiplication, and then addition and or subtraction, okay? So this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Always you're gonna use BEDMAS for the rest of your mathematical career, whether it stops in high school or whether it continues in university or college or wherever you're going to be going. Math will always be coming in, and BEDMAS specifically in your math will be coming in. Okay. All right. So let's simplify this example. Now, over here, what we can see is that we need to do brackets first, but sometimes one of the operations or some of them won't be there. And so you go, oh, doesn't look like I have brackets. So I move on to the next one. Okay, I need to simplify my exponents. So I look at where my exponents are. It looks like I have this 4 squared. And so I need to simplify that. 4 squared is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16. All right. And then now I'm done with exponents, no more exponents. So I move on to multiplication and division. It looks like I have both multiplication as well as division. So let's rewrite those in this step because we still haven't done them. So now it looks like I have both multiplication and division. And so I'm thinking, well, which one comes first from left to right, right? So once I'm on a step of like division and or multiplication, I say, okay, I got to go in order from left to right. And so you're probably seeing this as flip. This is left, this is right. So you're going, oh, okay. So from left to right, I got to do the multiplication first. It's not division first, then multiplication. It's this or this. And so you have to do it left to right, okay? So we simplify the 2 multiplied by 5, which is 10. So you're going to have 10 divided by 3 plus 16. Okay, so we can see here that now we're looking at multiplication, at division as well as addition. We also had over here multiplication, division, and addition. We know that multiplication division comes first, and that's why we considered those. Now, so we can see that now I need to simplify this division before addition because BEDMAS, right? Addition and subtraction are in the end. And so I got to simplify this division. And I've written one that doesn't actually work. So I'm gonna turn this number into something else. I'll write it as -2, just so that it does simplify nicely. Not to say that I can't do 3, right? I could leave it as a fraction, but I do want it simplified nicely for this example. So we're just gonna put this number in here. And so this will simplify to 10 divided by 2, right? So 10 divided by 2, and it's negative. We'll simplify like this. What's 10 divided by 2? Well, that's 5. But there was a negative, and so positive divided by negative is negative, right? We talked about this. If I have positive and negative, whether it's division or multiplication, right? This will always give me a negative, right? So this is for division. and multiplication. If I'm dividing a negative with a positive, I get a negative. Okay, if they're different signs, I get a negative. And so I get -5 plus 16. Now, how do I add this? We know that 16 is on the number line is over here. That's 16. This is 0, for instance. And then -5 is like over here. And so what I'm saying, or we can even just kind of keep the -5. So what I'm saying over here, when I say -5 plus 16, let me just like remove that. So I'm sitting at -5 and I'm adding 16. So that's 5. And then if I go to 10, right, that's 15. And then 11, that's adding 16. Okay. So what I like to do, honestly, is just take the bigger number, subtract the smaller, then bring the sign of the bigger. Okay. So I know that you should know this by now, and that's why I'm not like stressing on it too much, but I will write that rule down again. So it becomes 11. Okay. So I'm going to write this rule again for those that might want it. When we add and subtract different signs. Okay, so this is different from multiplication and division of different signs, right? I don't want you to go, oh, negative times a positive, that's negative. No, because you're not multiplying, you are adding. Okay, and so adding and subtracting different signs, you want to kind of follow this order over here. You want to take bigger number and subtract the smaller one. You want to subtract the smaller from it. Okay. And then once you do that, you want to bring back, so you're going to ignore the signs first. Okay. Bring back sign of the bigger number. Okay. So over here, for instance, I would have done 16. What is 16 minus 5? Well, that's 11. And then I bring back the sign of the bigger number, which was positive. So positive 11. Okay. All right. Let's do another quick example here. Let's say I tell you you have 3 squared plus 5 minus, or let's say divided by 5, all squared plus 2. Okay. Multiplied by 4. Right? Let's just kind of multiply a bunch of stuff. All right. So I tell you again, I say simplify. Okay. Again, you want to do the order of operations in order of BEDMAS. So we're going to look at the brackets first. I need to simplify what's inside the brackets. That's what it means to do brackets first, is to simplify inside the brackets, okay? And so simplifying inside the brackets, it looks like there's a bunch of operations there. And so again, it's like we reset. We go, oh, okay, we're inside a bracket, so we need to finish that first. But because we're inside the bracket, we got to go in the order of BEDMAS as well. Now, in here, we have exponents as well as division. So we got to do the exponents first. So we're going to do the exponents of 3 squared. That's 9. So we're going to have 9 plus 5 divided by 5, all squared, plus 2 multiplied by 4. Okay. And then what's next is to do this, division inside the bracket, right? We're still trying to simplify inside the bracket. So then we're going to have 9. Right, let's color code this. Let's go like do this first. Okay, so we're going to have 9 plus 5 divided by 5. What's the 5 divided by 5? Well, that's just 1, right? 5 goes into 5 once. And so we close this bracket, squared plus 2 times 4. And eventually you can skip steps. You can kind of like do this at the same time because you know it won't affect what's happening inside the bracket. But generally just stick to the rule of going in the order. Each step shows one order. But once you feel very comfortable with order of operations, then yeah, you can skip a little. Now we want to simplify what's inside the bracket because that was our main goal, to get rid of the bracket. That's our first step. And so we now have 10 squared plus 2 times 4, right? So we want to do what's inside the bracket first. And so we have 10. And so once we did that, whoops. Okay. So now that we have the bracket almost simplified, now we got to simplify it fully. So we have to apply the exponent on that bracket, which is our next step. And so that's going to be 10 to the power of 10, 10 to the power of 2, which is going to be 100. 10 times 10 is 100, plus 2 times 4. So now we have 100 plus 2 and 2 times 4. Which do I do first? Well, BEDMAS says that we got to do division and multiplication first. And so we're going to do this multiplication first. It simplifies to, let's bring it up here. It simplifies to 100 plus 2 times 4 is 8. And so our answer is going to be, now we do this last operation of 100 plus 8. Our answer is going to be 108. Okay. All right. So it's important that when you're doing any order of operations, just follow BEDMAS. If you have brackets, then you have to simplify what's inside the brackets. If you have operations happening inside the brackets, then you have to make sure that you follow BEDMAS inside that bracket and then kind of work your way outside to get rid of the bracket completely. Okay. All right, everyone. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.